fasciitis over 4 or 6 months. That's ridiculous. We do it in one day.
And he could go back and he wants to.
Those who don't believe it, you're wrong. You try it and you'll see it.
One day.
One day.
And I know when you go to those other doctors that start with a P, the podiatrist.
Well, they don't treat this. And
No.
they don't. They're really surgeons. You know, let's not have people do things they can't do.
Right.
I mean, I can't teach you how to play golf. I don't
No.
know anything about it.
And you won't do surgery.
And I don't do surgery because I'm not trained that way, and
Right.
I don't think that way.
Right.
We think in the other way of rapid improvement from a correct diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
So you can call me a diagnostician, musculoskeletal specialist. That's what I am.
And that's what you've done your whole life,
Yeah,
and that's
so-
what you know.
Right. And I've had all this stuff myself. I know what works. Believe me. I mean, there's nothing like it.
No. Let's take another one, because I keep getting yelled at from my producer that I don't have the questions that he gives me. Nancy from Boynton Beach. Here's what Nancy says. Tennis is my game, but my tennis elbow prevents me from playing. I rest, I ice, I heat. I do the compression as a treatment I was given, but the pain is still there. Well, Nancy, I don't know if you heard Dr. Patoza. I don't know if you want to repeat it again, what you told about tennis elbow. It's up to you.
Well, there's only 2 structures in there. It's a muscle or ligament. I don't know what they're doing with the compression. That doesn't work. That's kind of stupid.
Well, we had some.
And you know, Tommy Copper, they have these huge infomercials on, and
what is that?
And they put copper in the sleeve, and you wear a sleeve with.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
What
think
is that?
it's copper in it.
Yeah,
But
it said copper.
So dumb. That copper does not get in through the skin.
Yeah.
It's useless. It's expensive, and it doesn't do you any good. And these people are the full. I mean, they'll tell you, "Oh, I'm doing so well." They can't be doing well.
Because you're not getting to you're not getting to the what?
Source of the problem.
Right, the cause of the pain.
So just wearing a compression is not going to help
No.
you. I don't know where they get this stuff. Let me examine those people, and if it's true, I will tell you right on the radio.
I think they see an infomercial, Doc, and they think it's real because, remember those old days when people used to wear for arthritis, they used to wear the copper bracelets. The only thing it did was give you green.
That's what made me study the golf swing.
Right. And all those golfers are using the copper
Yeah,
bracelets.
they were using magnets, copper
Right.
bracelets, silver bracelets. I don't know what in the world. They were using magnets in the shoes.
Yep.
I mean, the whole thing was
I
just
bought magnets.
bizarre. You
I bought magnets.
You bought
Did you?
Yeah.
Did it work?
No. It actually gave me a rash.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
This is a true story.
That is
I mean, all
funny.
my stories are true. But I got tickets from a friend of mine to go to the convention for the PGA. This
Right.
was in Orlando.
Uh-huh.
So I go over there, and I don't know what to expect. You know, I thought there'd be a lot of golfers. So I'm walking around all the booths. 70% of them were selling copper bracelets and magnets and special beds and all kinds of stuff that, you know, if you know what causes the pain, you say, well, that's ridiculous. That's not going to work. And, of course, now you don't see that much. But there was a time when every golfer was buying this stuff. And
We ought to go to the golf show with you, and you have a booth and show how much you could cure them.
I think we should.
I think, what, Freddie?
I agree.
Orlando?
I think we should take a booth.
Yeah, we should take a booth up there and have
We'll
them.
take some cameras and you interview the golfer.
Well, yeah, actually, we could do it. We could have them swing for the
Yep.
camera.
Yeah. We'll
Now,
set it up so
I
that
could
the
tell them
booth-
where that pain is, and we could take them in the back room or behind a sheet and take care of that pain and bring them out again.
You know what that would do? That would be that we'd have them line. You better bring Paul down for that one. They'd be lining up.
Well, yeah, I'd have to bring Paul out
Yeah.
too, my son who does this kind of work, and
But the problem is you won't be able to use the machine.
that's true. But you know, I have a way of getting around that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a simple thing by diagnosing. I mean, I know you were with somebody and you touched the pain, they almost jumped, and you said that's where the cause of the pain was.
That was me.
Oh, it was you. I forgot who it was. You see how honest we are? We don't even remember these things. That's right. It was Freddie.
Yeah, we treated Freddie.
The guy that dances in the streets when he gets better. Yeah. That's funny.
But let me talk about osteoporosis.
Okay, go ahead.
That's an X-ray diagnosis only.
Okay.
Does not tell you where your pain is. And when somebody tells you you have pain because of osteoporosis, that is not true. Osteoporosis is a calcium loss of bone.
Right.
And it's diagnosed by X-ray. But that doesn't mean anything with the pain. I mean, you could have a pain anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not even where you have osteoporosis. So people should not do that. They'll end up sitting down a lot and really get osteoporosis, and then you get a fracture of your hip when you get up. That's how these things occur.
Right.
You have to fight back. You should be on a treadmill. You should be out of that chair. But the pain of the bone, even if a fracture of the vertebrae, occurs actually on the joints behind that. So we treat that.
Wow.
The other thing that it does is cause what we call a, you don't need osteoporosis for this, but a kyphosis, which means forward bending.
Okay.
You'll see people walking around with a cane.
Right.
They can't straighten up. They have kyphosis.
I've heard of that.
And that is treatable. We treat that.
Wow.
You
And,
straighten them up, you mean?
Yeah, we straighten them right up. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So they have a combination of kyphosis and scoliosis. So they have a forward bend and a side bend all at one time. So you separate those out, you knock them out one by one, and it's over a period of 3 or 4 days, treatment days that is, and you can see them walking in straighter and straighter. I mean, it's just a wonderful thing.
Now, Doc, you wrote a piece of paper, and you can buy it on Penoso.tv in your store. And it talked about the knees, correct?
Yes, knees.
And I think that most athletes right now, they think the surgery is the only thing facing for a solution in this problem.
Right.
Athletes have been writing to us asking, well, these are my knees. Can he really help? Why don't you touch a little bit about that and let them know they can purchase that on Penoso.tv.
Yeah, well, it's very nominal cost. The main thing is get the information out
Right.
there. And the knee pain is always on the outside. You got to remember where the pain occurs. It's on the outside of the knee, not inside. Every time people get their knee replaced, they're throwing probably 90% of the knee normal away,
That's what the articles say.
and they burn right up. I mean, it's just a terrible situation. I get sick every time I think about
I
it.
don't blame you.
So if you're having a problem climbing steps, you usually have a contraction behind the knee, and the weight bearing of your whole body goes on the front. Now, when you have an athlete like 200, 300-pound guy, I mean, he's got real trauma there, you know,
Lineman.
and his ligament structure is rather stiff, but it's still on the outside. It's not on the inside. So I don't know what they're doing when they operate on the inside of the knee. I mean, I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense to me. The cartilage is flat.
Right.
You
So
can't
what
hurt
are they
that.
cutting, Doc?
I don't know. You can't hurt the cartilage in there because it's flat. How do you get it? How would you tear a flat cartilage? You can't.
Well,
because
I've seen people show me meniscus that have like gray matter in there, but isn't that normal?
That's all normal. The meniscus is normal. The problem with it is it's attached to the outside ligament. That's where the pain is.
Right.
So all you got to do is just inject that, and the inflammation goes away, range of motion comes back, and you're normal. You don't have to have anybody look inside or operate those. No whirlpool, none of that trainer baloney.
Really?
I mean, you got to just.
Amazing.
I've seen this, and I had a lady who
amazing.
says I'm going to have an MRI done,
Nope.
and I said, an MRI, what's that going to do for you?
MRIs are totally inaccurate.
But Doc, doctors are hiding behind. You need an MRI. They don't even know why.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because the radiologist gives a reason for treating them.
There you go.
See, and I don't order MRIs because of that reason.
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. No.
It's amazing. It's amazing. The
So
people will
get
say I'm
that,
going to have that done.
Get that article. It's a good article. I mean, it's true. Everything in there is true, and you'll see it.
So the guy that reads the MRI tells the doctor what is. Now, that's
he
the
sees.
difference between, as we know, Freddie.
Yeah.
Dr. Penoso takes you from step one all the way to the end. He's the only one that sees it, does it, finds the cause of the pain, and fixes it.
Yeah, I'm
which is really
responsible.
unheard of.
Yeah, I'm responsible for that.
Right.
And otherwise, you have the MRI that says you have a problem there. You get operated, it doesn't work out so well. But the MRI said, so, you know, that's the way it works. Well, go to therapy. Well, when you go to therapy, you're dropping your level of care because what does the therapist know about this? They're not trained in
No,
diagnosis.
they're not.
So they're going to do your exercise. which in a lot of cases makes it worse.
Sure it does, because you shouldn't be doing something
Yeah,
where you
so
have pain.
there's a type of exercise you should not do, which is quad set. In other words, put the weight on your foot and while you're sitting and lift your foot up, and that forces the patella down, which causes a lot of pain. So you don't want to do that. Treadmill is your best exercise.
Really?
Yeah. Because when you're on your feet and you're stepping down, you get a small stretch in behind your knee, and you can make it worse by altering your stride.
Right. So you do a
So
normal
you can actually
stride.
feel it, and then that helps you more than anything.
Wow.
Hey, those are secrets now. You got to listen.
No, I mean the show. The show is basically based on trying to help people to understand that you don't need surgery. And if you don't believe me, go to JMA, and they're the ones that are saying you don't need surgeries.
You used to see how these people with knees that go in like that. What do you call that?
Bow-legged? Is that
bow-legged? You used to see how fast they come out.
Oh, wait a second. I didn't know you could fix people with bow legs
Yeah,
too.
bow legs. And,
Oh, my God.
But it's all capsular, see? It's all capsule we've been talking about. There's a scar on the inside which makes your knee go out, and that's
Right.
where your pain is.
Wow.
Outside, every time you walk. The weight pushes your knee out.
Every time I have you on the
So-
show, you have something else I didn't know about.
It's all back there somewhere.
Oh, wow.
So what you have to do is relieve the scar tissue, and that knee comes straight in. Same thing with the other way. When the leg goes out, you see people walking around like that. That scar tissue is on the outside.
Outside.
And you just treat that, and it comes right in. We do it every day. People are really happy with it.
So, folks, since no one's calling because it's Father's Day, I imagine, you can reach Dr. Pinozzo in about 3 minutes. And that's 561-381
4 minutes.
5800. 4 minutes. So
You got a minute.
Okay,
a minute
if you
and a
want to
half
call in
extra
Dr.
for fill-in.
Pinozzo, you got a minute to give you the thing. 877-927-6969. That's 877-927-6969. And if you can talk fast, he could probably help you.
That's right.
So now, Doc, there was a big article in the Sunday paper of Health, and it talks about stretching. True or false? Is it important to begin every workout with a gentle, thorough stretching session?
Well, I don't know what you mean by that.
Yeah, what does
because-
that mean?
Well, they're saying, well, if you're going to run, put weight on your heel. If you're going to run, make sure you stretch your back out. Is stretching good?
Well, they're talking about. Let me have that.
Yeah,
They're talking about stretching, and they're implying that you're stretching muscles. You are not.
Okay.
You're stretching ligament.
Okay. Is that good then?
No,
Okay. That's what I want. That's the end of what
That's
I
the
want to say.
inflammation, right?
Is it good?
it's a tightening down, and you got to have a problem with it before it will do that. So the pain should be treated. That's a pain, but
Well, I got a better
now
one for
remember,
you.
a pain could be really small or really large in the same structure. You're not creating a new structure with a harder pain.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Now, Doc,
The way to handle that morning stiffness is by increasing your body temperature.
yes.
So you do push-ups for that, squats, and sit-ups, and your body
Oh.
temperature will come up, and a lot of that pain will disappear. Those are the easy ones.
Right.
Now, if something is there after all this, you have to have that treated. Now, it could be a secondary or a primary issue. You don't know. That's what the diagnosis is all about.
Amazing. Amazing. Did you want to say something before I go, Freddie?
Yeah, I wanted to know, a lot of pictures and stuff, they ice up, Doc. Before I met you, I used to ice up my legs all the time, and obviously that didn't work. But why do they tell you to ice up?
They don't know any better. It's the
And it doesn't do
trainer.
anything,
It's
correct?
the trainers that are
Correct.
pushing this stuff, and the therapists. They're pushing this. Chiropractors. Everybody wants to know when it comes in my office. Do I use ice or heat? And I said neither one. I
Ice and
took the pain
compression.
away. Don't do that.
Ice and compression is what I
Yeah.
was told.
You don't want to do that. As a matter of fact, ice inhibits the physiology of the correction, the treatment that the body wants to do. So why do that? See, that doesn't make any sense. I've heard this from day one of medical school. Believe me, it's not that I haven't heard of it.
Okay, we hear that little
Yes,
sound,
I
guys.
mean-
I mean, we could talk for 3 hours. Call Dr. Pinozzo at 561-381-5800. Again, happy Father's Day to everyone out there, and we will hear from you and see you next week. Have a good one.
This has been the Dr. Pinozzo Sports and Medicine Hour with Dr. Anthony Pinozzo. If you spend 5 minutes with Dr. Pinozzo, you'll see he genuinely enjoys helping others. Visit Dr. Pinozzo online at www.paincentersnationwide.com or call him at 561-381-5800. Dr. Pinozzo will consult with you to determine the best solution to your pain needs. 561-381-5800 is the number to call, even if it's just for a second opinion. Join Dr. Pinozzo next week when he brings you more important information on the physics of weight-bearing and engineer concepts for the body.